Metapod. two, on my mind.
All right, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Ascension campaign here on Forgebreaker. Tonight we are going to venture forward through the woods north of Fitchhurst and make our way towards Lady Tinueth, who has created a bit of havoc in our little region here. C-Big, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime subscription. Very much appreciate it. Announcements this week. Not a lot here. Monday, Tyranny of Dragons. Everything should be good to go. 7:30 Eastern for our start time. Don't forget that is Daylight Savings Time, not Standard. So if you do not follow Daylight Savings Time, make sure you push your schedule ahead 1 hour to match ours. Otherwise, we have Alliance coming up on Saturday and Empire a week from Wednesday, which should be March 20, or no, I'm sorry, March 4th. Otherwise, I'm looking into a PAX East schedule. Since I will be there, I may try to stream from the showroom floor. We'll see. Maybe possibly get a little FaceTime with Miss Elspeth from here on Twitch, if any of you are familiar with her stream. Otherwise, check out the Twitter channel if you do not already do so. Give it a check. We're going to try to keep everything up to date there, let you guys know what we are going to do. Otherwise, I think that's about it. Let me check. Are we good to go over here?
If my voice doesn't break.
Yep. Yeah, no, we should be all set. All right. Have it. Why don't you take over?
All right. Quick and dirty recap. So you all started off last time. You were faced with a riddle that seemed to be left behind by Vidania. You went about pretty quickly solving the riddle after you realized that it was referring to the elements of fire, water, and earth to be placed in a certain order on the little altar things, the basins. And after you put them in the correct order, a path opened up. The trees kind of melted away, and it opened up to the north for you to continue on. As you went into the next area, whispers were kind of floating through the air, and they warned for you to turn back and leave. You decided, of course, to ignore them, and then you were ambushed by a group of dryads that tried to magically convince you to leave. But being as you all have aversion to being charmed, you powered on through and slaughtered them all. After, I believe, Aelion heard some strange noises off to the northeast of the area where you ran into the dryads, you decided to investigate that, and you came upon a very large mound of dead grass and leaves and vines. And after looking around for a few moments, you were then ambushed by two large shambling mounds. Quick thinking from Kaylin banished one of them, and then instead of the combat going deadly, you were able to turn it around at the last moment and slay the other one. You decided to take off and leave before the other one came back to this plane of existence, since it was coming back. But unfortunately, you were just unable to outrun it after it came back, and you were forced to fight it again. While fighting the second mound, you discovered that Kaylin had some kind of berserk-like tendencies when she finally used the axe that you found previously in the shrine. But all in all, after slaying the creature and breaking Kaylin's contact with the axe, you were able to continue on. Not long after going slightly more north, you came upon a cave with a very large and old-looking bear. Surprisingly, it spoke common and spoke to you. After an exchange, you learned its name was Chumru, and it was a companion of Vidania's. You learn that the actions were not normal for this, for her master. And that it seems something odd. It seems like something was off with the things that were going on currently. But after getting a little bit more information about something a group of people called the Four, as well as a few other tidbits, you decided to bid Chumru farewell and continued on in search of the what appeared to be some kind of floating column or rod on top of a hill that you saw previously. After some quick checks and investigating, you discovered another note with another riddle, and with Aelion's help and his ability to speak Sylvan, you were able to find out that this was an immovable rod placed atop this hill, and Aelion's words were able to move it, and you obtained said immovable rod. You then continued on further to the west, and came upon a clearing that had a bunch of rocks and such on it, and a very strange, rock grinding on rock sound coming from it. And then you were subsequently ambushed by another set of creatures, several of which you knew the name of already, being Grix, as well as one very large alpha Grick. But being the worthy adventurers that you are, you were able to slay all the beasts, and that is where we ended last session. So, you've just got out of this battle. Berwyn is still a giant wolf. There's a pathway back down to the southeast that leads to previous areas, as well as a place you haven't observed yet off to the west. You haven't gone pretty much anywhere west of where you are right now.
Probably keep moving forward. Well, that's what Berwyn thinks.
It's generally my favorite direction forward.
Gonna follow the wolf.
Probably a good idea.
All right. As you continue on, getting past this next bend, you see another path leading down to the south and ultimately the southeast. You know that this probably leads back towards the cave where Chumru resided, as well as a new path leading off to the west, or southwest, rather.
Man, this is a few bends in this path.
Yep. As you continue on, Berwyn, especially as you're moving in, it starts to get really tight in here. You're barely able to kind of shoulder through the thick brush and trees surrounding you, but you're able to keep moving in your wolf form.
I also have a giant sword to hack through brush. I figured that would help a bit more in this situation. A hallway.
If necessary. It seems wide enough for you to move through, though, so you should be okay.
Cool.
Anything y'all doing? Just trudging along at this point? Okay.
For the dryads.
And Berwyn's beginning to see it. Everybody can kind of move around into this next area. As you move in, you see another clearing. As you move into it, you see a small cliff face off to the east. as well as more thick growth all around you that you've kind of trudged through to get to this point. However, what catches your eye the most are the large boulders in this area. Upon initial investigation, it looks like just rocks that are naturally here. As you look closer, you see what appears to have, they all seem to have murals etched into the sides of them. So, Markinor, as you begin looking at them, you start over at the far west boulder. You see a scene laid out in front of you of 4 young humanoid individuals. They all appear to be in a very fierce battle with a very large bat-like creature. Utter chaos seems to surround the battle as they fight atop what appears to be a temple of some sort. Give me an insight check as you're looking at that. Nice. So as you're looking at it, you take a closer look, doing a kind of a double take at this mural, and you notice that the creature looks eerily similar to the creature that you fought to exit out of the shrine of Tomoe-chan. However, as you're looking at the 4 figures, they clearly do not seem to represent yourself or the rest of the party. Let's see. As you move down to the southwest boulder, you see appears to be the same group sitting in a tavern, though they all look slightly older, except for one individual. They seem to be discussing something very seriously in a very animated fashion. You see various patrons of a tavern can be seen around them as they're talking at this table. Everybody give me investigation checks as you're looking at this particular mural.
That's about right.
Looks like, yep, there's some rocks here.
And aliens back to the crits.
Crits
Jesus.
never stopped.
Alrighty, well, Markinor and Berwin just move on to the next one, not even really paying attention, but Aelion and Kaylin take a much closer look, and you're able to see some finer details about these 4 different people in this mural. You see one is a female that appears to be wearing some kind of forest garb with long shimmering hair, and it seems like inlaid into the stone is some coloring, and it looks like her hair is the color of the sunset. Another looks to be a somewhat skittish and scholarly-looking man. Appears to have a hood that's laying down, exposing his face. Kind of looks almost sickly to a point, and he kind of looks squeamish to where he's sitting. Can't get much more from it, though. You look further on and see another one looks to be wearing somewhat heavy armor, which is a little odd since they're in a tavern. Hear the screaming baby?
Yes,
Awesome.
He sounds very angry.
it's a
He's
baby.
upset. Try to go quick. So heavy armor dude, a little bit odd because he's in the middle of a tavern. Don't generally wear your armor in there. The last that you see, however, is a very stoic, stone-faced man with the most notable thing about him. You see the large hilt of a sword protruding from his back. And as you move on to the kind of middle south boulder, you see the group once again. Their faces looking even older at this point. They're standing at the top of some sort of chasm or a canyon of some sort. That's what I was looking for. Down at their feet, you see a fire pit and what looks to be a couple of slain dead rats lying by their feet. And they appear to be looking down into this chasm. And as you move to the bottom right boulder, you only see 2 people in this. You see the female with the red hair is seen once again, but she appears to be speaking to a hooded figure whose face is obscured. The area around them appears to be a somewhat familiar forest.
Is it perhaps like the forest we're in? That familiar?
Do what now?
Is it like familiar to the point like it's the one we're in, or
Give me an insight check. It's hard to tell. There's lots of trees in the background, a little bit of clearings and such, but it's hard to really determine if it's the exact same forest or not.
guys? Forests have trees. About 80%.
Irwin just kind of dog chuckles.
Yeah, and Max, derailing the session already. Jesus.
Focus
The
more on
last
the
one.
increase.
Yeah, it only gets better from here, right? And the last one, you see the female with the red hair seen once again speaking to a hooded figure whose face is obscured, and the area around them as they're talking appears to be a forest. Almost eerily similar. You could say this is the same person.
Damn it.
Be a valid assumption, yeah.
That would could be a relief, or could even be worse than what we thought originally. It was then
Give me a perception check. Nothing really jumps out at you immediately. As you kind of look around closer, you see some of the boulders looking down at the bottom of it. It seems like the pieces that were etched out of these boulders is still laying down at the foot of them. Almost seems like this was done maybe somewhat recently. These murals were drawn to the rock somehow, but no glowing or anything of that nature.
they're like drawn on, not like etched.
Yeah, they're etched, like the pieces of rock that were etched out, or little pebbles and such are laying at the foot of these boulders.
So check out the cliff.
Mm.
Wait,
I shake my head no.
with this, can I get like a positive or like negative? The first part of it. Can I get like a positive or negative like image, mental impression? I guess.
From Berwyn,
From
or
yeah, well, from animals in general, but specific in this case.
yeah, I would imagine you would get a very negatory feeling from him.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of shaking his head, I guess.
Yeah,
I
Berwyn
need to
can
give
explain
one of
what he
y'all
feels.
this freaking ring. You mean like a human that turned into a wolf?
Turns and looks at Caleb. Turns and looks at Caleb.
I was about to say, straight due north.
You definitely get some ill vibes, not necessarily directly from Kaylin, but definitely radiating from the axe at her side. As you reach out further, something not intended when you cast this seems to register on there. You get a very similar feeling that you know you radiate from yourself. So kind of a holy, devout feeling, radiating somewhere to your south. You're able to recognize some of, basically the kinder connection that you feel with Tyr. Something very similar, though not along the same lines, seems to be radiating from your south.
Which way's forward?
Looking around the rocks to the west, you see there's more trees and such behind it. It's just like the DM couldn't make that rock bigger without making it look weird. So there's it didn't look good, so I made it smaller and said, they'll ignore it, right? Nope, fuckers.
Nope.
Hey, hey, hey. I've seen Stranger Things. Indoors. Is there
As
a
you approach
ledge
this,
here?
yeah, you see a cliff face here. It's only about 15 feet or so high, easily for you to kind of jump up and help each other up onto.
I just kind of stand next to it. Thank you.
Berwyn is indeed an excellent stepping stool.
Yeah. I wanted to do this. Go on. Okay, sorry. I'll see what I can do.
Hey, that's better already.
Alright. It's a little repositioning. This mic is not the best.
I'd like to jump up there.
As you jump up there, okay.
Y'all can go forwards.
They moved.
Jeepers.
Okay, never mind.
I wait till they move forwards and then jump up.
I just see like.
And then I
you
start
know
licking
that
his
thing,
face.
You know that thing dogs do before they're about to jump. Like I see that.
Oh,
I'm like,
why
no,
is
no.
my mic wasn't working? I'm so sorry, everybody.
So,
Oh well, it's better
Max
now.
and Aelion and Caitlin are able to clearly see Berwyn's intentions as he begins to soddle up to the cliff face here and launches himself up, able to just barely fit onto the ledge here.
Ugh.
And
All
you'll
right.
see another path leading to the south.
So I'm gonna continue on. And what is this I see?
Alien goes tumbling off
Alright.
the ledge.
So as you all move into this new area,
That-
as you round the corner made of the surrounding trees and brush, you come upon a large clearing with a small pond sitting lazily within it. The wind blows through the trees around you, and you see a very grizzled old man sitting in finely polished armor by the pond.
Do I recognize this man?
Nope. Well, wait, no. Give me an insight check.
Rolls a 20 on insight. Nope.
As you're looking at him, you have never met this man before. However, in your recent memories kind of pop up, you saw a very, in the third boulder that you just looked at, it seemed that the man that was looking over, one of the people, rather, that were looking over into the chasm, shared the same face as this man.
Is he alive?
Yeah, he's just sitting at the edge, kind of looking at you with a quizzical look on his face.
Yeah, I would have sensed like an undead feeling from him, so he's very much alive.
Yeah, your divine sense is definitely radiating from this dude. In a good way.
I kind of walk up and say, excuse me, sir, what are you doing here?
That he's clearly just sitting, kind of has his legs arched up, I guess, a little bit. Kind of hard to sit cross-legged or anything in this armor. But he kind of looks over and tilts his head. He says, "Oh, just watching, of course."
Anything in particular?
He kind of looks at you and looks down at the pond next to him, looks around at the trees, looks back at you. Everything.
Yes, this is quite an interesting forest. Can I ask what brings you here?
That you see, you always see the old men that, know too much for their own good, give you that kind of knowing, playful smile. He does the same thing as you ask that question and looks at you and says, "I just said, I'm watching."
But that's not really what I asked, now is it?
Come, lad. You asked what I was doing. I am watching. What brought me here? To watch, of course.
Hmm.
You're watching, but what are you looking for?
Daddy kind of shrugs as he looks over and sees you, Aelion, and looks at the other two in the back. Says, watching for outcomes. Watching for decisions. Watching for things and to see how they play out.
And are you pleased with the decisions that have been made so far?
Daddy kind of tilts his head and seems to be contemplating for a moment. He shrugs. He says, well, I don't think the Dryads really needed to die, did they? You could have moved on without slaying them, but... Mostly yes. It's been good so far.
Well, had they not provoked us, then perhaps it would have been a different outcome.
Daddy kind of chuckles. He says, well, lad, one day maybe you'll learn that not everything needs to be, solved by a swing of that was it hammer? Yeah, that war hammer of yours.
But Tyr wouldn't have it any other way, now would he? Casting judgment upon those who would attack a warrior of his own. Probably, it would benefit us to not just let that go.
That he kind of shrugs. He says, well, Tyr may have more stringent ideals on that, but I don't know if he would take upon laying out creatures that are just trying to protect their home as judgment. Now, would he?
But these creatures didn't ask of why we were here. Instead, they just attacked. They could have taken a moment.
That he kind of raises an eyebrow. They took a moment to ask you to leave. Politely, if I remember correctly.
Politely, not reaching into our minds and attempting to force us to leave.
Well, you will remember that when you entered the area, it was just whispers. They weren't any kind of psychic attacks or anything. They initially did try to inform you that you needed to leave, and you decided to ignore it.
It's very, very difficult to turn our backs on people who have slain those within line. What's the name of the city to the south?
Fitchhurst.
Fitchhurst. Sorry. It's difficult for me to turn a blind eye to the deaths within Fitchhurst. Would you say that your god is willing to accept such deaths?
Daddy kind of raises a finger and smiles once again. He says, that, lad, was a good decision. Turning your back on the innocent who are being slain and harassed in any way is something you shouldn't do. And you made a wise decision there. Continuing on with the Dryads, while I may talk that you could have handled it differently, it would be untoward of you as a servant of Tyr, or even I, as a servant of Virin, to turn our backs on that, even with aggressive negotiations needing to be done.
As he says Tyr, my eyes kind of widen a little bit and kind of look at him and say, how are you aware that I'm a servant of Tyr?
With that, he kind of laughs. He says, how would I have not known that? I've been watching y'all for some time now.
You
I
also
know
kind of
what.
said it.
I didn't say it. No, in this conversation, I did not say it.
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
No. Okay, then I said it. Fine, never mind. Never mind. I didn't think I said it.
Retcon. Oops.
Retcon. This didn't happen. Never mind. No, I really didn't think I said it. I just...
I mean, you didn't directly say it. You just...
I made mention of judgment, and
Yeah,
that's
Tyr.
kind of Tyr's thing, but...
Give me a religion check as he said the other name. Virin.
That feeling when you're a fucking cleric and you have no religion bonus whatsoever.
Worst cleric ever.
Worst cleric ever.
Oh my god.
Hey, still a 16 though.
Hey!
Look at that.
Worst druid ever.
As
Right?
as you're conversing with this man, and he mentions Tyr and Virin. Virin obviously being his deity of choice to beat about him. You know that Virin is actually a servant of Tyr. It holds many of the same beliefs,
Same
though maybe
values.
not quite as stringent as Tyr, but very similar. But yeah, as you're looking at him, he once again says, as I said, I've been watching. I've seen many of the things that you have accomplished. He kind of addresses this to the whole group, not just Markinor. He says from the kobolds and the goblins in the Citadel, all the way to the Durgar in the Forge. You've made some interesting choices along the way.
And would you have done any differently? Should you have been in our shoes?
With that, once again, he kind of raises his hands up, kind of pleadingly. He says, well, I wouldn't really know unless I was in that situation.
Unfortunately, sometimes we don't get to make the decisions that we would really like to make. Though our gods tend to agree with most decisions we do make.
With that, he raises a finger, kind of in a point manner. He says, yes, it's one thing you will learn, lad. Some decisions, and ultimately the ones that matter most, are not easy. But people such as ourselves have to make those.
Anyone else going to speak up? Anyone else have anything they want to add to this? Otherwise, I can keep going.
I'm a wolf.
You are a wolf.
With that, this man
Brown.
kind of turns towards Aelion. He says, decisions such as what to do about your sister, perhaps.
Very conflicted. But what would you know?
Yes, it's a very interesting predicament. What do you know of his sister?
With that, he has that kind of knowing grin once again. I know what I know. I know much more than you do, that is for sure. However, it's not anything you need to know right now. Makes sense, yes?
What's the name of his god again?
It is Viren?
Viren?
Viryn.
Random
Uh,
wise.
As a follower of Viren, would it not benefit you to kind of fill us in with what information you do know? Especially in this situation, it wouldn't make sense for you to withhold information from a Guardian of Tyr, especially when we're trying to help the individuals of Fitchurst.
As you're saying that, he kind of barks out a laugh. He's like, ha, ha, you will not get around your devout ways with me, young lad. I know the ins and outs of things, but I think their beliefs and mine aligned well enough for me to go about things how I have thus far. He said that in a very kind of jovial way, like you tried to pull a fast one on him and he caught
Right.
you. He says, no, I think I'll keep my information to myself, for now at least. You have to earn it first, you see.
And in what way do you feel we have to earn this information? Have we not done enough to this point? I mean, trying to help the
Haven't I
people of
waited long
Fitchurst.
enough?
Yeah.
It's been
With that, he kind of shrugs. He says, well, it's not really my place to say now, is it? As I told you before, I'm a watcher. I'm here to observe, not help you along. That would be too easy.
I've seen your kind before. You think you're so lofty, but with your watching, it's only those that do that change things.
And as he's saying this, Arcanor's kind of putting his left hand down and kind of motioning like, let's not get hasty with this individual. We don't know exactly what his intentions are.
As Aelion says that, the man directs his gaze, and the kind of jovial look he had on his face where he had smiled this entire time and seemed very pleasant, wipes away almost immediately, and you see a very grave look on his face as he looks at Aelion. And he says, boy, you would not know the things that I have done throughout my life for others. It's much more than you have, though not to take away from anything you've done to this point. It's all been very valiant and worthy of myself and my deity. However, do not for a moment seek to judge me until you know the facts.
And exactly how have you watched us all of this time?
I know of another who has watched us. He speaks very similarly to you, of needing to earn our way.
Sounds like a wise man to me.
But he is wise, he is cruel.
That he kind of reaches up and scratches this, very graying beard. He says, "Is he? How is he cruel? How has he been cruel to you or to others?"
Watches, he puts us through unnecessary tasks for what? All I want is my sister back. All I have.
Rome.
As he's saying this, Markinor kind of again continues to motion with his left hand to kind of to his side and trying to get Aelion to notice. He kind of intervenes and says, I think what my comrade is trying to say is that we've been put through unmentionable tasks to make our way through very dark and mysterious places, and it doesn't make sense for Lady Tinueth to put us through similar situations. And if you're here to aid her, we need to understand why we are doing this.
With that, he looks back towards you, Markinor, and the somewhat pleasant look on his face returns as he nods and says, "Very well, that makes sense. You need information, and you want to know why I'm here, why she is here. Why are you going through all of this? But I am the wrong person to ask. As I said before, I am here to observe and watch. But if you continue off," and he kind of points to the other side of the trees, "there's a pathway leading to her open to you now. Continue that way, and you may get your answers."
Well, I thank you for the information you provided, but I pray to Tyr that perhaps in the future you'll be a little more giving with information to those who come past your gaze.
That you see a kind of broad smile appear on him, and he says, "One thing you'll learn, lad. If you know things, you don't give them away for free."
Kind of nod. And, which direction did he say the pathway was opening?
He pointed back to the north.
Okay. Kind of nod and look back at the others and kind of, give them a knowing nod to head back, and we'll head in that direction.
As you're all beginning to turn and leave, you hear the man once again speaking to you. Says, "Be careful. She's more powerful than you think."
Oh, believe me, friend, we are not underestimating her. We understand that she's very difficult to deal with.
And you hear him kind of chuckle and says, "You have no idea."
Okay.
All right, what do you want to do?
I believe we are going to, and we're talking like up in this direction, is that right?
Yeah, I mean, ish. He
To
kind of
the
pointed.
north,
It
ish,
almost seemed
yeah.
like further back than that.
Okay. Because this is closed off, right? We can't get through any of this. We got to go around.
He kind of, as you're looking for more information, you hear him kind of say, "Venture back the way you came. You'll know it when you see it."
Kind of nod, like in a very courteous and thankful way, and kind of motion to the rest of them, like, "Come on, let's go. This is kind of a lost cause for us right now. We need to keep moving forward. So we're gonna go back around the way we came. Everyone.
Are other players here? That's what you want to do? You want to stay? You want to shoot him? What do you want to do?
Well, I want to shoot him, but I'm not going to. Just one
Looks-
Probably a
question.
good idea. Probably a good idea because you get a giant sword back.
Looks Kalen dead in the eyes like, we're not doing this. We're gonna keep going.
Don't worry. I'm not doing it. Before I leave, though, I do ask him one question. Does the name Malpheus mean anything to you?
And once again, you've seen it many times, but a broad grin spreads across his face, and he just simply nods an affirmative to you.
That's what I thought.
That motherfucker.
And just now I'll leave.
It's like things are clicking or something. It's weird. Berwin, what's your time on wolf form now?
Let me look it up.
It's about an hour is
Yeah, I
gone since
thought it
that
was.
fight.
I thought
Only
it was
an
about
hour?
An hour.
Oh, I'm-
Yeah.
I've got like at least. I think it's half your. Hold on.
I don't remember. I thought you had at least 2 at this point, but I just want you to be aware that it may be
Yeah.
coming up eventually.
Half your druid level rounded down, and I'm what, level 7? Yeah.
Yeah, so you got
So 3 hours.
3. Okay, cool. All right. So everybody's just heading back, following the path, right?
Yeah. Heading.
I just kind of take a last look at him before we leave. Before I leave, I have a feeling that we're going to be.
Do what, Alien? Couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. I just kind of look back before I leave and just say, I have a feeling we'll meet again. Just around the corner.
And as you kind of look over once again, you, as you say that, you see him kind of nodding, and he kind of gives you a little wave as you walk away.
I now have a on my lap. So,
So as you make your way back through the tight kind of corridor of woods, you get all the way back almost to the path where it seemed like there was dirt and such, and you actually see where definitely you knew there were trees there before. It appears that a small pathway has opened between them.
To the west here.
Right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were definitely trees.
There were absolutely trees there.
There weren't trees there.
Looking around, do I see
Trees?
motherfucker?
I'm gonna chop through the trees.
And they're going again.
Hey, I did.
I thought for a second I was gonna get closed in. I was gonna have to fight a bunch of shit all by myself, and I was immediately gonna turn back to the trees and say, "You motherfuckers! You
Tricky
did
old
this!
bastard.
You did this!" All right. So what do we see in this area here as we step in?
As you move in, you see another somewhat large clearing. Seems like a couple of the trees have fallen over and withered with age, just leaving behind old stumps. Once again, thick brush surrounds you in every direction. You see some pathways leading off to the south, but they ultimately seem to all be leading towards your southwest.
And there doesn't appear to be anything like moving or anything negative towards us.
As far as you can see, no.
Okay.
So as you come around this corner, however,
No, everything's
everybody
fine, and
died.
then now you're dead.
as you begin to round this corner, you see a large creature standing in the middle of the path. The creature has the body and snout of what appears to be a bear.
Oh, that thing is
However,
cool.
it has large, majestic horns resting upon its head. Large wings sit folded on its back as it sits on its haunches, its large blue glowing eyes fixated on you.
That thing is cool.
It's so cool.
It's so cool. I'm gonna wave to it. Hi.
You said it has a body and a head of a bear?
Yeah. It looks
That's
awesome.
A freaking awesome version of a
Right?
griffin type creature.
Can we ride it?
Does from here does it appear that it's aggressive towards us?
As the whole party begins around the corner and sees this creature, it kind of observes, moving its head slowly between you all. And as you move in, it stands up onto all four of its legs and begins moving to the west around this corner, almost as if to beckon you to follow it.
Kind of look over my shoulder and kind of, nod my head in that direction, saying I'm gonna follow it.
Do I recognize this thing at all? A long shot, probably.
It's going to be a very long shot, but you can give me a nature check.
Can't.
Oh, look at that.
Nice. So as you're looking at this creature, you can't quite tell exactly what it is until you start thinking outside of the realm of normal creatures, natural creatures. The description that you kind of have of this creature with the body and snout of a bear, as well as horns and wings and such, and plus its kind of majestic look of it. You remember tell of people of the Goliath race worshiping such a creature, and they called it an Ursagel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's worshipped.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. All right. Unknowingly going to follow around the corner here.
Oh, and I can't communicate that with any of y'all, just to let you know.
Nope.
Yeah, we
You
already did.
cannot.
Kalen's still like trap. It's trap, right?
It's probably a
trap.
trap.
Trap. Got it.
And you
Yeah,
all
trap.
live around the corner now. So as you get around this corner, you see another large clearing that seems to just radiate beauty. You see a very large and old tree sitting in the northwest, kind of overshadowing over a somewhat larger pond. You see the creature, a calm pond flows lazily to the north, and you see a beautiful Eladrin, Vidania, sits beside it, her hand kind of trailing through the water. The large creature moves over next to her and sits down and kind of looks at her and then motions its head back towards the party. And as Vidania turns and looks towards you all, she turns back to the creature and rests a hand on its very large muscle for a moment and then stands up to face you. She addresses you all, looking from person to person. Says, "I warned you. I sent my pets to reaffirm that warning." She kind of cocks her head to the side. "Not very good at listening, are you?"
Oh, we listen. We just choose to ignore.
You've perhaps never been good at obeying orders.
With that, she kind of raises a finger up to her mouth and shakes her head. No, you haven't. But no matter. You've made it here despite my warnings, despite the things I've sent your way, my pets that you've brutally slain, I might add. But regardless, I suppose my friend here could send you on your way one way or another if necessary. And she kind of motions back over to the very large creature that's now turned and facing you all.
The deaths of your pets are on your hand. You hadn't the choice to send them after us. Didn't have to make them attack us.
She kind of quirks. You see a bit of a grin appear on her face. And you didn't have to come into my forest.
So we are at an impasse.
Seems that way.
Sister, I've been looking for you for a very long time now. Why would you keep me from this place?
With that, Vidania turns towards you, Aelion, and kind of raises an eyebrow at you. He says, and you, little brother. I expected much more from you, little day.
In what way?
She kind of raises her hands up and shrugging. I expected you to be smarter. You know better than to trifle in things you don't need to. Do you not remember what happened to our family?
How can I forget?
Then you should know what happens when you get involved with things that you shouldn't.
So you'd become that thing. Become a terrible thing to stay away from?
With that, you kind of hear a silvery laugh radiate from her. She says, no, I'm the same as I've always been. You see, I was trying to protect you, trying to keep you away from the dangers that this world offers. But you just wouldn't listen.
I've never been very good at it. You know this.
With that, you see a very, kind of normal sigh as she, visibly kind of exhausted. No, you did not. You have not been. I guess I should have expected it at this point, but oh well. And she turns towards the creature next to her. She, you hear, Aelion, you're the only one that can understand this, but you hear her clearly speaking Sylvan. She addresses the creature and says, Sanduin, will you please take care of our friends here? They do not need to be here anymore. And then she looks off towards the tree back behind her. And you hear her kind of let out a melodic whistle to a certain point. And you all see two somewhat large dire wolves come walking out from behind the tree.
Okay.
Everybody give me perception checks.
This is a thing now. This is... Holy shit. Those are large fucking dogs.
Yeah, the big dogs come out.
They're big fucking dogs.
Markinor is just completely sees these dire wolves, and he is just focused on them, between them and the other large creature. He has no idea what it is. Everybody else, as you're looking back behind the dogs, you see the bottom of the tree begin to meld, much like the dryads did when they were emerging from the tree. And you see what appears to be another large dire wolf, but it seems to be covered in moss and vines, almost as part of its fur. And it approaches out from behind the two dire wolves. And with that, Vidania takes a step forward towards you all.
This is
It says,
bad.
last chance. Leave now. And you won't be harmed, regardless of what you've done to my other pets.
Looking
Woof,
back
woof,
on
woof, 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 woof.
the others, do they look like they're ready to back down at this point? Friends.
I'm here for a reason.
With them not looking to back down, kind of look in her direction and say, "No, I don't believe it will be us that will back down on this day."
God damn it.
And as you say that, she looks between you all as Berwin the wolf kind of grumbles. She looks a bit in turn from each of you and kind of looks at Aelion a little bit longer, and you see somewhat a sad expression crossing her face. And then she kind of sighs and shrugs, says, "Very well then." And she turns her back on you and walks back to the pond. "Take care of them." And she moves back. And at that point, we are going to roll initiative, please.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That
what a time
initiative
to
roll.
a
Oh,
high
look at
initiative.
that. Look at that roll. That 5. Hi, Caitlin. Welcome to single digits.
Oh,
It
But I have a
sucks.
modifier.
It sucks so bad. I hate it. Dude, and you rolled a 4. That's
Yeah.
even worse. Ugh.
I rolled an 18.
Huh.
Oh,
This is gonna be
God.
bad.
Oh,
2, 3, 4. Hey, at least one thing rolled below us, Kaylin. Just one, though.
I don't
That's
know,
it.
actually know how that works. Because technically my initiative is in, if I were a straight wolf, would be higher, but may it only be like one higher. But never actually tried to figure out how wild shaped druids do initiative.
I would imagine you would use your dex score of what form you were in.
That'd be my guess.
I mean, that would make sense. So,
I'll stick with the 20 though, because I don't want to re-roll and roll something lower.
yeah.
Because it'd be the chances of being lower are significant.
All right. So before we start this fight, we're going to take a quick break because Alien had to pee, and I have to as well. So,
Yep.
quick break, real quick, and then we will
All
see
right.
what happens.
Heard him, guys. We're going to take a 5-minute break. We will be right back. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Be back in just a second.
check. Okay, I'm back.
Coop.
Ignore me typing. I'm not typing. Oh, what have we gotten ourselves into?
About to get her ass kicked.
No, no, no.
Well, as long as I don't take damage. Listen, that'll be fine.
As long as we don't take damage, we'll be fine.
No, just me.
Right.
Because I will just attack everything.
Yeah, we know that.
I just love this. It's like, as long as I don't take damage, that's how you win. Don't take damage. Step 1. Step 2, deal damage.
The team with the highest score usually wins the game.
Yeah.
I was about to say something along those lines.
It's gonna be a fight, that's for damn sure.
None of you sitting at full HP. You've gone through at least one fight since
I
wrestling.
mean, speak for yourself about full HP.
Well, you cheat, Druid. So
Maybe. Maybe I don't.
all right, everybody should be back then. So no objections. So once again, Vidani has stepped back away from everything. She seems very obviously not taking part of this fight, instead sending her friends, as she called them, after you instead. And her very large friends are now going to bear down upon you. Aelion, you're first to go.
Use my bonus action first. That I'm gonna that weird plant wolf thing.
What? We can't hear you.
Sorry, my mic here. Oh, I had. So ignore the very top number. So that's like an attack on hit. So I'm gonna then shoot at the guy in the middle there. So
Okay.
It's a 20. That's 20.
Yeah, 26 hits.
Okay. 26. Then he takes that 2. Well, he takes 4. Or well, sorry. There's a deck save for him and the other two.
Him and the two dire wolves got it.
Yeah. I know how this works, I swear.
First time I'm using it. I know how it works though.
So, okay.
So it's a like you shoot somebody and it shoots thorns from 5-foot radius.
All right. So as you fire that off, that was your bonus
Plus he
action.
takes-
This one.
Plus I have 2 more shots left. We did a while ago. We did since we've been here.
Yeah, you've taken one long rest, but that was before the
Yeah.
puzzle and
Yeah.
basically before
Yeah.
last session. So last session, y'all did not even take a short rest. So, all right. So just doing your first attack real quick. You fire off an arrow, and it sinks into this creature, kind of sinking in. You hear kind of a hollow thud, almost like you're shooting bark, as the arrow sinks in. And as it does so, this like hail of thorns sprouts out from your arrow and shoots out to the two direwolves next to it. The creature that it landed on there kind of braced back against it and didn't take full damage, as well as the northmost direwolf also dodged a little bit, but the other one did not move quite fast enough.
Got 2 more shots, and I'm gonna just keep shooting at the guy in the middle.
Okay. Uh, 14 misses, 18 hits.
Cool.
Gonna move up, and I'm done.
All right, so as these thorns are spraying out to the other, or all the wolf-like creatures, Aelion lets off 2 more arrows, one going wide, but the other one sinking in once again, doing a little bit of damage to it. Berwin.
I'd like to just attack this one right here. Oh, gotta change character sheet right quick. 15 hit.
15 hits.
13 damage on
Ooh.
the first hit.
Nice. 13, not gonna hit.
13 this time.
13 misses.
No.
And then bonus action.
What do I have? It's my core. No War Priest, but I do have Channel Divinity. No more. I have plenty of divine.
And that's my turn.
That can help.
All right. So Berwin the wolf charges forward, laying into the leftmost direwolf, putting one good slash across its chest, begins to bleed a little bit.
Last one.
It's able to sidestep around the second one, though, and then you see some of the wounds that Berwin's wolf form took earlier begin to meld themselves together. That being said, the wolf-like creature covered in moss and such begins to take a step forward. And as it does, as it takes a step forward, it raises one of its paws and brings it down onto the ground. All of the party feels a bit of a rumbling going through the ground, and then lots of spikes pop up all around you, all in the area that you're in. As you're looking around, it seems like it's going to be very difficult to move within these spikes without taking damage.
Okay.
And that is its turn.
Where does it move to?
It just kind of took a step forward to bring its paw up and then bring it back down on the ground. So it's still where it is. Seems to be hanging back and just, at this point, manipulating nature around you. Kind of freaky. That being said, it is now the one that Berwin's turn, or Berwin attack's turn. So it is going to do much the same that Berwin did. It is going to reach out and attempt to bite you. It's a 24 hit.
24, yes.
Give me a dex or a strength saving throw.
Uh...
All right, nice. So as you're, as this creature lunges out and grabs hold of your kind of lower neck area with its teeth, you take 7 piercing damage, and it begins to try to wrestle you down to the ground and knock you prone, but you're able to seize your muscles together and push off its advance and not go prone. And you all look back to the north as this large blue-eyed creature stands up in a ready position, and its wings unfurl, and they're massive. And it beats once in the ground and then twice, and then it takes off into the air. Goes about 10 feet in the air or so, and then swoops down towards Markinor.
Okay.
And it's going to fly by and attempt to hit you with its horns. 14 misses. and it's also going to try to hit you with a bite. And the 10 misses. So as this creature flies by you and then takes back off into the air, it attempts to hit you with its horns first, ramming into you, but you bring your shield up and brace against the impact, and it tries to bite you as it flies by. But you're able to shrug off both the attacks as it takes off into the air. So it's approximately here, but it's about 50 feet in the air at this point.
Okay.
Kaylin.
Okay. All right. Gonna use the fireball I've got in my ring spell storm.
Okay.
To hit the 3 dire wolves from behind, so it doesn't hit anybody else. Where are you fireballing? Okay, DC 16 deck save.
All right. That area right there is the one that's got thorns all over the place.
Yeah, I'm not moving.
Yeah, no, that's visual representation for
Yeah.
everybody. So DC deck saves from the 3 wolf creatures, right?
Yeah.
They all fail.
So 27 fire damage.
That's neat. Does that just hit the 3 big ones? It doesn't hit Ladania?
No, she's kind of off in the back, away from everything. I just can't move her without it looking weird.
Gotcha. Yep.
Anything else, Kaylin?
That's all I can do.
All right. So as Kaylin raised the ring on her finger, and a large fireball protrudes from it and flashes out, it explodes in the middle of these 3 creatures. None of them are able to really jump away from the blast. The one to the south that's been hit already takes a good amount of damage. It's looking very rough. It's fatigued and burnt and cut. It's not looking good. The creature in the back kind of shakes its moss-like fur to knock off the flames around it. And the other one is looking pretty hurt too. All 3 of them are not looking fantastic. Markador.
Going to cast Spiritual Weapon. So drop that right here in the middle. It's not going to hit anything. I was going to try to attack the one to the west. But it's at least out and in the middle here. And that is my bonus action to do that. For my action, I'm going to cast Bless on myself, Aelion, and Berwyn. So the 3 closest by, everybody has Bless going forward. And that'll be my turn.
All right. So as Markanor summons this longsword of Tyr to reach out, both the wolves kind of dance around it, dodging the attack that goes out from it. And then a prayer kind of chant rings up for Markanor as he blesses everybody else except for Kaylin.
By the way, happy to have everybody here.
So this creature is going to take a few steps forward.
Here to watch our
just
fun
to the
and
edge.
Little stream here.
You
and
see it kind of
to hang out with us.
moving past the
So
sword,
thank
and as
you.
it charges
I
forward
appreciate
towards
it a lot.
Berwyn, you see its foot gets pricked by some of the thorns on the ground. Seems like it raises its paw, kind of wounded, but it still bears down on Berwyn with another bite.
I'm going to use Protection Fighting Style, disadvantage on the attack.
All right. It has advantage because of tactics, but
So
tactics,
average,
but it'll
yep.
have average regular attack,
Yep.
and it rolled a 21.
Yeah, it's gonna hit.
So it bites down into you, Berwyn. I need another strength saving throw as its teeth pierce into your flesh for 8 piercing damage. But once again, you're able to flex your muscles as it tries to take you to the ground.
I tried, man.
And keep your footing.
I tried. That's the best I could do.
Okay.
Back to the top of the turn, or Aelion?
I'm gonna do much the same I did last turn, but instead of I'm gonna attack this dude.
Which one?
So,
It landed in the middle.
Sorry, this guy.
Okay.
Okay.
So level 2. couple of
Hit.
5. There's
That's a good hit.
11.
All right. So as
25.
you take a shot and hit this
Or I
creature,
guess they all need dex saves. Really.
yeah. I'll do the one. It rolled a 19, so it saved. So as you fire your first arrow off, it makes clear contact with this creature and sinks in very deep. The wolf kind of lurches forward for a moment and then falls down onto its belly, breathing heavily for a few moments and then not moving at all. As the
That's good stuff right there.
thing explodes, it goes out and hits
Explodes.
this creature, or the direwolf to its east. And it takes some more damage. It looks bloodied. It begins to pant heavily, but it is still standing.
I'll take another shot at that guy. The other extra guy. And well,
13 will not hit.
That's an interesting roll right there.
That is a very weird roll. That is actually a crit fail. So
Crit fail with a bonus from Bless. Hey Spinach, how you doing, bud? Glad to have
Yeah,
you here.
wins.
Giggity. All right. So as you reach into your quiver for your second attack, you bring up just the fletching of an arrow. It looks like that all your arrows have like discombobulated in there. You're not going to be able to use another arrow until you use an action to fix all your ammunition in the container.
oh my goodness.
So, word of
That's a
advice,
pain.
don't fix your ammo, just do other things. It's fine.
Can I just kind of like stare at that and then like pull my swords out?
And say, fuck that. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with that anymore. I'm done.
All
No.
right. Berwin.
I'm gonna chop into this one right in front of me.
Dude, I'm just happy to have you here. Thank you for being
25,
here,
right?
Spinach, honestly.
It's for
Thank you to
sure.
everybody that's here. I'm glad everybody's
Oh,
here
yeah.
to
Yep.
kind of hang out and get to
So as you
enjoy
bring
some
the
of the
sword
stream.
around, this creature that was already very, very hurt sees you coming at the last second and tries to move out of the way, but it's just not fast enough. And you bring the sword in and leave a deep gash in it, and it falls to the ground unmoving.
I'd then like to move right over here.
All right. As you move forward, some of the spikes in the ground dig into your
Oh, he
paws,
moved.
and don't remember the damage.
He moved. He shouldn't have moved. He should have stayed still. He
You
should
take
have
3
stayed
points of
still.
piercing damage as it pierces
No.
into your paw.
Ouch. Damn thorn.
Why did you move?
Because I can't do jack shit otherwise. That's why. I'm gonna attack the spiny doggo.
Oh shit. Yeah, that hits.
Technically that'd be 22. Right? 'Cause it's a normal and then the
12
bonus
plus
damage.
4,
So 2,
16.
12, yeah, 22.
22, okay.
It would be 22.
I don't think I can.
Yeah, it
That's
would
the-
be his first
yeah,
roll
not on,
plus
not on NPC.
2 times
no
2d6,
crit.
so yeah. That's a good roll right there.
Yes,
Nice.
not a bad roll.
All right, anything else?
Definitely good.
Yes. I gotta go to the other character sheet. I'm just gonna cast whatever it's called. Combat.
Whatever it's
I'm
called.
just gonna combat.
Combat wild
shape
shape.
heal.
Okay. All right, yeah, he'll heal up again.
Oh, you can move on while I figure this out.
All right.
Which spell I'm gonna use, which level.
All right, so as Merwin slays one
Ouch.
direwolf. He charges forward and takes a little damage as he does so, but he gets up and leads a massive gash with a greatsword in its mouth across this, very tree-looking direwolf, leading a huge gash. No blood seems to flow from it. It's just like cracked wood and such is left in its wake. But the creature lets out a very guttural, almost like wood crashing through the trees, is its yell in pain as you do so.
A +1 on your bonus is literally a slap in the face. I'm going to go ahead and take a higher level cast. I'm going to give you a 1 because fuck you.
Yeah. Thanks, Dice.
Thanks, Dice.
After rolling
Appreciate
a
it.
7 on the first D8.
You did just get it at 20. It's just the balance in the world coming back.
It is.
You're right.
All right.
Just
I'll take
recentering
that.
everything.
I'll take that crit
For every
fail.
high, there's a low.
All right. So as this creature takes this heavy blow from Berwin in his wolf form, the creature staggers back, almost even like recoiling from the damage, but you see it's moving directly for the tree behind it. And as it does so, it disappears, almost melding like the dryads did into the tree. And it reappears.
Is it moving away? Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It reappears back behind Kaylin, melding itself out of the tree. And Kaylin, you see as a kind of tentacle-like whip reaches out from it and attempts to hit you.
It's a
Man, that's
freaking
some fucked up shit.
Bulbasaur.
Nat 20.
Oh no.
That is.
Oh god. Well, please don't attack me. I'm getting away from this.
Whew. Okay. Maths.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Technically, since
No.
it was fully out of the tree, would I get an attack of opportunity?
Right.
No, it's essentially a teleport.
Okay.
Oh.
Essentially.
It is a teleport. How is that better?
Damn it. I'm trying
All
to
right.
save our chaotic evil witch.
So as
I don't know
Berwin
why.
is recoiling from his attack, he sees this plant-like direwolf disappear into the tree. Kaylin just completely unaware, unfortunately, as it appears behind her and brings down this whip on you, dealing 30 points of piercing damage as it slaps across your back
Ow.
and drags.
Caitlin, don't do that.
What is it? Con save
Um,
or wisdom save?
I feel like
For
it's
Con
what?
save.
For
Do you have something
concentration?
going?
No, for my acts of stupidity.
Oh.
I'm trying to bring it up. I didn't have that open yet.
Acts of stupidity.
Oh,
Like
I
it.
apparently had 10 hit points.
Not anymore.
I would have given you 10 hit points, but we
No,
haven't had a
I
long
just
rest in
didn't fit my
forever.
character sheet, so I forgot I had some from the last session.
Wisdom saving throw.
That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
You're able to save against it as you feel this rage from being attacked build up and as you turn towards this wolf, but you're able to subside against it. That being said, the creature above, seeing Berwin and Aelion dealing the most, dives down towards Aelion, doing much of the same.
Won't do it. Protection fighting style. Disadvantage, please.
All right, 21 on the horns.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh, you just got
What? Wait, what? 21?
I rolled a 21 and a 24, so
What?
21.
No.
Wrecked.
I tried.
Wrecked.
Best I could do, Aelion. You're on your own now.
Don't die.
So as
please.
these
Don't die.
You
horns
are.
wreck into you and begin to pierce into your body, Aelion, I need a strength saving throw.
As-
Sea land
As
on
they
the
wreck
ground.
into you and destroy you into
All right.
nothingness.
So as these horns pierce into the body, they begin to lift you into the air, but you're able to pull yourself off of them, taking 9 piercing damage, but not being thrown to
Hey.
the ground.
Yeah.
You see it kind of lining itself up as it climbs up, seeing you begin to fall to the ground. It almost looked like it was going to bring its hooves down on top of you, but instead it reaches down and tries to bite you. Whew. It doesn't have advantage. All right, thank God. 24 instead of the nat 20.
Yeah,
Holy crap.
It's gonna poke me a little bit.
All right, so as it brings its mouth down, biting you as it flies by, it does another 10 piercing damage to you and then
God,
flies
dude,
back.
Damn it.
30 feet in the air this time.
This son of a...
I'm gonna kill this thing when it's my turn.
Please.
Or at least
Amen.
try. No promises, but I'm gonna try.
So,
This
because of that stupid ass piece of crap decided to show up behind me, and I did not like that. I'm going to use all the rest of the slots in the Berserker's Axe to cast Burning Hands at it.
Oh,
Oh.
do that thing. Oh
DC 13
God,
dex save.
31. Holy shit.
And that one on its deck. So Kaylin turns.
You fucking
seeing
dead.
This creature, like her back is bleeding, her back of her shirt and tunic is torn off from taking that massive hit from that thorn whip. She turns around and stares at the creature and brings her hands up with the axe held in between them, and just this torrent of fire erupts, scorching everything in the vicinity of this wolf. As the fire begins to subside, you see cinders hanging off the trees and the grass, and there is nothing left of the wolf.
Go away.
It's just
Disappear,
gone.
motherfucker. Just go.
Well, that is quite effective.
Anything else, dare I ask?
That's
Can
it.
he roll intimidation? Because now I'm fucking afraid of Caitlin.
Oh, can I please?
I mean, yeah, if you want to.
Kaylin used Burning Hands. It was hyper
No,
effective.
it wasn't as effective as I wanted it
It
to be.
was, if anything else,
Well,
you're just thoroughly
I just realized I
impressed.
rolled a 2 there.
I'm impressed. I'm not intimidated though.
Yeah, that amount of destruction impressed me. You're not quite scared.
Yeah. It's only because there were no 6s in that entire.
Yeah.
That was a pretty
And
average
2
roll.
ones.
Yeah.
10d6, 30% damage. Wait, no.
Yeah.
That would be 20,
No,
30, 50.
It was a little over 50, but
Yeah.
It's
My math is bad.
53-ish.
All right.
Oof. All
54-ish.
right. Nothing else, Kaylin?
that's it.
Hey Jeff, how you
So,
doing,
Mark,
bud?
We're seeing this torrent
Glad to have you
erupt
here,
behind
bud.
You. You kind of had to bring your shield up to brace against the blast of heat, but you're back up again.
All right, my turn.
Yeah.
All right. How high up is this thing directly in front of me?
About 30 feet in the air right now.
Okay. The magic sword is going to move over and attack. Oh,
Yeah, that hits.
yeah. Only 5 damage. And you said it's 30 feet up.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see Alion's health bar. How's he doing on health? He's.
I'm hurting pretty bad.
Are you? Okay. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Alion.
Thank you. That's mighty kind of you.
And that'll be my turn.
All right. So as this long sword, spiritual long sword, kind of floats up into the air,
Jeff,
the
I'm doing
creature's
good,
kind of
man.
getting
Thank
to
you
the
for
apex
asking.
of its flying into the air, getting ready to die.
Things are
again.
going pretty well.
It slashes across one of its wings. doing
D&D
a little
streams
bit
are
of
going
damage
well.
To it. Doesn't seem to really
Everybody
even
seems
notice
to be
it
having
as
a
it
good
turns
time,
back
so
towards
yeah, I'm
you
doing
and
good.
Alion, getting ready to dive. And you turn around and quickly touch Alion to heal him up and fix some of his wounds. This guy's dead. And with that, Alion, it is your turn.
Phrasing. I didn't touch him.
Oh yeah, you did.
Oh, I
Yeah,
touched
you
him.
did.
Oh, I touched him.
Walk out of this spiky area.
Uh.
So we're gonna
As you do so, what did you move? 5, 10.
Just want to get it over with.
As you take steps across, you take 10 points of piercing damage.
It's okay. And then I'll use my action to fix my quiver, I guess.
Okay.
'Cause, I mean, I can't really do anything else. And I'll just kind of ask my sister, is this what you wanted?
And so as you're reaching back to hastily fix the arrows in your quiver that have seemed to rearrange themselves in inadequate fashion, you look back at Vidania.
Nice,
and
Jeff.
see her,
Yeah,
and she just
I'm,
kinda shrugs. She's like, "Not what I
In
wanted,
April, I'm
but
doing a
this course of action
100
will have to
mile
do, I suppose."
biking
And with
event.
that, Burwell,
So
you're up.
looking forward to it. I'm getting ready actually to take
Thing's
my
flying,
bike, which
isn't it?
is right back here. I don't know if you guys can see it. One back over here.
Yes, I can sit,
Taking
like,
it
right
to
just
get
technically
service and
there.
ready to go. That way
Yeah,
I
it's
can
way above you right
do
now.
my 100 mile ride.
And I'd like to
It's
hold
going
my action
April.
until he comes within
What is that?
range.
I think it's
Okay.
April 6th. No, May 6th. So
That's
yeah, that's going to be
All right,
fun.
so as you're doing
I'm
that,
kind of looking forward to that.
this creature sees, it looked like it was coming down towards Aelion, and his eyes were following him as he moved around. However, it looks over at you, Berwyn, and down at Markinor as well, as it's beginning to move itself for another dive, kind of floating in the air for a moment, and sees all three of you together, and then looks, and you see its eyes focus clearly on Caitlin, and it swoops down towards her.
As it does so, do I have no? It
Rip.
moved. Where it moved, I can't do anything.
Yeah, no,
sorry.
it's everybody you can clearly see. This
Yes,
creature's
it's
intelligence
outside,
is moving
Jeff.
around to make it where you
It's
cannot
called
hit it.
Cycle the Seacoast. Actually, if
So
you
it is
look
going
on
to
my
dive
stream, if
down
you
at
look
you,
down below,
Caitlin.
there's
20 hit.
an entire section where you can do donations, and it's for the American Lung Association.
Disconcerting.
Something very kind of near and
Sorry, yeah,
dear
that hits.
to me,
Okay. If you had
where
a
they're
hit or not.
taking
So the horns down,
donations and
it roars you
such.
for 13
Um,
piercing damage. And
Gonna
begins
turn this down a little bit.
a strength saving throw.
It's basically just a ride to generate donations for the American Lung Association for
Two horns
COPD and asthma and things like that. So yeah, I'm doing a 100 mile ride. Very intense, very much gonna take a lot out of me to be able to do so, but I very much every year look forward to this event.
It brings a hoof down right on your chest for another 9 bludgeoning damage.
Wait, it landed in the spiky forest?
It did, but it hasn't moved through the forest yet.
Oh.
And that is its turn, but it is now grounded for a moment.
Quick, get it.
Caitlin,
Bro, sorry. Doo-doo-doo. First one, second one.
Golden.
Yes, I didn't say that.
Yeah,
earlier.
so last year,
But,
Jeff, I did a 50 mile ride. When I finished it, I rode another 10 miles to get back to my hotel. I felt fine whenever I finished it. Such a good ride. Very much enjoyed it. This year, like I said, I'm
gonna
taking
use, an
donations for
action
this
to
year.
gain a spell slot from-
Trying to hit the $500 mark. But
and that's it.
either way,
You get
I am
stand back
looking
up or
forward to
just
it.
keep looking on the ground?
I am trying to push myself. I'm now 70 pounds lighter than I was last
I guess I'll
year.
stand up.
Look forward to being able to get out there and
I didn't
kind of do
mark your-
something different. So
I'd assumed you were standing back up, so I didn't put the
be a lot of
note
fun,
on
I
there for
think.
prone, so. But I will if you want to keep laying on the ground. I'm down with it. All right, so Kaylin reaches back, pulling out the rod, and you see it kind of glow faintly as she regains a spell slot. Markinor.
Is this beast down here? Is it on the ground?
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm gonna move over, and the sword will move over. I'm going to.
As you moved over 5 feet, you took 5 piercing damage to your
Okay.
feet.
Would it
Okay.
technically still be there since the creature died?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ooh. That's fine. So when I move down, the longsword's going to attack like normal.
Yeah.
Holy shit. For 7 damage. And then my normal attack, since it's on the ground, I'm going to attack it. 13?
He's gonna miss.
Okay. I'm going to use... Oh, I can't. Never mind, because you already called it out. That's going to be my turn.
All right. So once again, the spiritual sword wanders over as you're kind of moving through the thorny undergrowth that has appeared under the ground here. But you're able to move down, and the sword takes a swipe, catches it again. Seems once again not to care too much about what the sword is doing to it, and it kind of bashes your hammer away as you bring it around, and you do not do anything to it. Aelion.
I just kind of again turn to my sister, like, we will kill your friends, as you call them. Not call them off. It will happen.
And she kind of shrugs, says, "You will try."
And Hunter's Mark this guy, and pull out my bow and shoot a couple times.
Apparently, she's never seen my hammer before. Holy
Jesus.
shit, dude.
Yeah, both your 17s hit.
That's fucking ridiculous.
7, 18, 26.
Yep. Anything else?
Nope. That's it.
All right, so after observing this creature a little bit longer, you're able to mark it for a better shot, and both your arrows land home, striking into this one into the wing and one into kind of side of its chest, dealing a good amount of damage to it. It still seems fairly healthy, though, as it comes to Berwyn's turn. Four points.
Bruin, I think you're muted, maybe?
Yeah, we don't hear you.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay, cool.
Just making sure.
Yeah, 23 hits.
God.
Okay,
And a 24.
also hits.
There we go.
Oh,
That's
there's the
better.
bigger damage.
And that's it.
All right, so as Berwyn comes charging around, clearly trying to move as much as he can around all the thorns in the ground, he steps in, taking just a little bit of 4 points of damage as he moves in to attack twice, both attacks landing home, starting to look like this creature's starting to feel some of the pain it's being put through. That being said, it is now its turn. It looks as it's being slowly surrounded, and it decides to take off and jump into the air. All three of you will have attacks of opportunity as it jumps into the air.
Does the great sword get one as well?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay, fine. Fine.
Hit.
I'm okay with that.
Hit.
14.
Wow.
Miss.
Dang.
All right, so as
Been with bless.
Markinor and Kaylin are able to score as this thing takes off into the air, going about 40 feet or so, or no, about 20 feet in the air above your heads. It gets a couple more cuts across it, kind of lets out a little gruff of pain, but then turns towards Berwyn this time and dives down at you.
Protection.
21.
Yeah, that'll hit.
It's really, really well. All right, so it hits you with its horns and begins to lift you off the ground. Strength saving throw. All right, you're able to resist that, and it reaches around and tries to bite you. A 13.
Yeah, that's not gonna hit.
All
Thankfully.
right, so the bite does not hit you. However, the horns did hit you for 12 piercing damage, but you're able to step aside from the bite attack as it soars another 40 feet into the air above you all, about right there. So
I'm guessing it has something that allows it to fly away without attacks of opportunity or whatever. Oh wait, we already got one, so it
I was
wouldn't
about to
even
say-
matter.
I was about to
As
say,
he
you all
only
just
get
got
one
attacks of
reaction.
opportunity. It's like you
Just
all
got 'em.
just got that.
I can only react once.
Yeah.
Oh well.
All right, Kaylin.
So it's like 40 feet up in the air.
Yes.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah. Do it.
Oh god.
Burn it.
Holy
DC 16
shit.
dex save.
It matches.
All right, so it takes 17.
A pretty solid
Alright.
roll.
Wow.
Anything else?
A really solid roll.
No, that's it.
All right, so as Kaylin decides to put on her fireworks show again, fires it up into the air as this creature is flying it up and kind of turning back to dive once again, and it catches it almost in the chest. But one of the wings comes around and kind of buffers against the blast, so it doesn't take the full
It's an
amount.
action, right?
But it is still in the air. Markinor.
Yeah. I'm going to, for my action, use aid. The remainder of our party. Everybody other than me gain 5 temporary and heal up 5 regular HP. And then for my bonus, actually, I don't think I'm gonna do anything else. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do.
All right, so another prayer comes out from Markinor, and everybody feels a good surge of healing energy entering into you as he aids you.
The sword will move up on the bonus action, trying to match the height of this this flying bear thing. But it's only going to reach up 30 feet, so it won't make it there.
Okay. Aelion.
One last time, I turned to my sister, like, just please call off this creature. It will not give me any pleasure to kill him.
And once again, she shrugs, says, I wish I could. I told you to leave.
And again, I just kind of turn around, line up a couple shots on it.
14 and a 30.
First one misses, second one hits.
Holy shit, 30, dude. Seriously.
Well, that's not as much as I hoped for. But,
All right, anything else?
no, that's it. Just kind of shrug and resignedness, resignation.
Yeah,
That's
say
the
resignation.
word. That's the word.
There it is.
That's it.
Alrighty, so as you let off 2 arrows, one sails wide, the other one makes solid contact, dealing a good amount of damage to this thing. It's starting to look a little bit winded, but it is definitely still in fighting shape. Berwin.
Yes. I'm gonna stay where I am and hold my action in case it gets close again.
All
Can't
right.
really do a whole lot else.
All right, so once again, this creature scans over the battlefield, seeing 3 of you together and 1 person by itself. It dives down towards Aelion. 26 on the horn attack.
Yeah.
I need a strength saving throw.
That motherfucker. Oh, yeah, dude.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Very easily, as it starts to gore you, you quickly push yourself off of it. You still take 12 points of piercing damage, and then it reaches
Holy
around and tries
shit.
to bite you as it passes by.
No.
For a 26 again.
No.
And it bites into you for 17 points of piercing damage.
Ouch.
And you all see as this creature gores Aelion as he's pushing himself off. You see it reach down with its mouth again and bite into him, almost dragging him a few feet in the air, and tosses Aelion's unmoving body down to the ground back behind where he was standing. And it goes back up into the air.
So how much movement speed does that thing have?
A lot. It actually can fly 80 feet per turn.
Oh, holy shit. So it came down 40 feet and then went right back up 40 feet?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right. You have all seen your friend gored and thrown to the ground. Kaylin, you're up.
Yeah, we're just gonna do this.
Shit. Yeah, you are.
Ooh, yeah. Twice. Not just once, but twice.
Okay, 17 on the first one, 14 on the other. Jesus.
The first one
Holy
should have
shit.
been 21. Oh, never mind. 17's right. I'm
I
wrong.
was about to say the 10's already 10.
Yeah.
No,
wait,
that's
wait,
the-
where do?
I forgot it doesn't get the +4 on both.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay,
So,
that's a total of
31.
Man.
All right. So
That's
as
some good
Kaylin
damage.
sees this creature just completely wrecking Aelion, she takes a quick step forward, points her hands up in the air, and fires off 2 Eldritch Blasts that sink straight into this thing's side. You hear a very loud growl of pain as this creature starts to flutter in the air, seeming very hurt by the impact of these 2 blasts. It's still floating in the air, but it's looking very rough.
Okay.
Markinor.
All right. One sec. Cool. That works. So the sword is going to move into position. It's only like 10 feet below it. So it will move up and attack.
Okay.
And yeah,
Hit.
that's a thing. And then as it does, I'm going to move over here and use my action for Spare the Dying on Aelion to make sure that he's at least stable. And then that will be my turn.
Alrighty, so as your sword reaches up, catching this creature as it's still recoiling from the 2 hits that Kaylin delivered to it, easily catching it in the side. This creature is beginning to bleed and
No
bleed
spinach.
profusely from its wounds.
Unfortunately,
Its
I
chest
didn't
is
get
heaving,
the expansion.
somehow staying aloft, but it is not. It's doing it with great difficulty.
I will
And
do
then you
so,
rush
but
over and
it's gonna be in
stabilize
the sometime
Aelion,
in
so
the
Aelion will
future.
not have to make a death saving throw.
I'm
However, you
having
were still prone and
enough
unconscious.
trouble keeping
Berwin.
up with everything. I've got a lot going on right now, so unfortunately, I
It's
don't
still
have
way
enough
up in the
time to
air,
be able
isn't
to
it?
do so.
Yeah, it's 40 feet in the air right now.
But I do want to get the motorbike and continue on, so sometime in the future.
I'd like to growl, bark at it,
I want to growl at it.
and hold my action in case when it comes.
Alrighty. So seeing the blast coming away from Aelion, or from Kaylin rather, as well as the sword, it kind of looks around between targets. You see where it had kind of this majestic confidence in its eyes. Now it almost looks a little bit panicked. And it looks down at Kaylin, who's been hurling spells at him, and it rushes down at Kaylin with its horns.
Oh, never mind.
15.
Nope.
15 again. All right. So
Nope.
as it flies by you, let's see. So it's going to get about 30 feet off the air, in the air, right about there. It tries to gore you with their horns, but you're able to sidestep around it. You see much the same attack that's been hitting everybody. You know its
3
mouth is
foot,
coming, so you
so
quickly
this
step back
moved
away
up
from it and dodge that attack
10
as
feet.
well.
So
your
if
turn.
it moves over, it should be
We're
fine.
gonna just
It'll
keep going.
it'll match it, so it'll be
Yeah, that
alright.
sucked.
No, that's not gonna hit. And no,
Oh.
that's not gonna hit
So
either.
Kaylin, still recovering from the attacks that almost hit her, is unable to take a good aim as this creature just swipes past her, and both attacks miss.
Alright. That's it for me.
Arcanor.
So this thing was 40 foot up. It's now 20 or 30 foot up. Is that correct?
Correct.
With that, this will move over. It'll have plenty of movement to be able to match it. And it's going to attack again. Yeah. Hopefully,
That
21.
hits.
Okay, for another 5 damage, and then because I'm kind of out of other options, going to sheath my warhammer and quickly reach for my crossbow and try to shoot this thing from where I'm at here. Does a 12 hit?
It does not.
All right, so kind of pull the crossbow hastily, and as I fire off, it kind of shoots to the side. Doesn't hit anything.
All right, so as the sword makes another attack connecting to it, the creature lets out another howl of pain. Its wings, you see some of the feathers on its wings beginning to fall down as it flaps furiously to stay in the air. This creature is looking almost dead. Almost there.
Almost dead.
But not quite.
Okay.
Aelion is unconscious. Erwin.
It's still way up in the air, isn't it?
Yeah.
30 feet off the ground.
This mother.
It's definitely a thing.
Gonna step right here.
Take 4 points of piercing damage as you step across the lands.
Fine.
Stop taking damage, you motherfucker. I healed you once. I'm not doing it again. If you die from the little things in
Actually,
the ground,
that doesn't actually.
that doesn't hit you. That hits your temporary hit points.
Yeah, which is 5.
You have 1 left.
Yes.
I'm not
gonna
healing you
hold
anymore.
action in case it comes close. And
Alrighty.
bonus action. Do that.
Alright.
Oh shit! It already took the spell. Let's not take another spell slot.
Alrighty, so as you step forward, once again, holding your action, this creature looks down, kind of in its frantic survey of the battlefield, once again, sees you proned out, ready to take it, so it decides to not go towards you, and flies towards Markinor, swooping down at him.
Yay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
26.
Yeah, that's gonna
God
hit.
dang it!
I'm okay with that. No, it's fine.
Strength saving
What's the
throw,
muscle?
please.
Strength save. Okay.
It is okay. So as this horn hits you, it seems to just go through your armor, stabbing into your chest, and lifts you off the ground. As you pull yourself off of it, it nods its head down and throws you onto the ground prone.
Okay.
As you fall prone, this creature, just barely keeping itself aloft, comes down with its hooves to stomp on top of you.
Okay.
Oh, nat 20.
Okay. Okay.
Oh.
No, I'm okay. It's okay.
You sure
It's
you're
okay.
okay with it attacking you and not me?
No, I'm okay with it. That's what I'm here for. I'm here
'Cause
to
I
be the
still have
punching
way
bag.
more HP than you.
All right. So as it brings its horns into you, take 11 piercing damage.
Oh, that's fine.
And as you fall to the ground prone, it brings its hoof down on top of you for another. Shit, I just had the number. For another 30 points of damage.
Oh, so now I'm out. Okay.
God damn it!
30?
I mean,
Wait,
double check my
30?
math now,
Really?
make sure.
It was a crit.
Sorry,
That was a
20,
crit.
28. I was too off.
Either way, I mean, that's more than what I have.
Hey, Markinor, you
crit.
still okay with this?
I'm okay with this. I
'Cause
I mean,
I
I'm.
haven't even touched.
Everything is
Everything's fine.
I still
Everything
have
is fine.
19 HP that I haven't even touched yet.
Yep. No, I'm okay. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
All right, so this creature
As
that
the
seems
world
to
burns.
barely be able to keep itself aloft swoops down at Markinor. You see it gore him in the chest and then slam him to the ground and bring its hoof down and slam into his chest. And as it stands, brings its hoof off and turns towards you other two, you see that Markinor is not moving.
Wait, so 15 wasn't enough to save against that?
Nope. It was very
Correct.
close, but it wasn't quite.
What?
I love high DCs.
Right?
All right, Kaylin.
Welcome to actual.
All right. Please roll. Thank God.
And that hits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Die.
So as this
And
creature
6 damage.
steps off of Markinor and
14
turns
total.
towards you, you see it, kind of breathing heavily. Some blood is beginning to leak out of its mouth. And Kaylin, almost in a piteous manner to put it out of its misery, shoots off 2 more Eldritch Blasts right into its chest, and the creature lets out one more gasp in pain and then falls to the ground, unmoving.
Fuck you piece of shit.
You are
Yeah.
completely out, bro.
As this creature falls to the ground, its bolt kind of covering what was behind it, but as it falls, Kaylin and Berwin, you clearly see Vidania walking up behind it, kind of looking down at the creature, and then you see a somewhat icy glare turn towards you two.
No, bitch. No.
Now? Ah, crap.
And with that, she looks at you and then sighs deeply and says, "Well, I suppose you've passed the test, though I didn't like watching that." And as she says that, you hear footsteps coming from your east. And you see the man that was sitting in the clearing from before that you talked to. And as he steps forward, the vines on the ground begin to kind of part, or the spikes, rather, in the ground, and dissipate as he walks into the air. He kind of looks back and forth, looking towards Berwin and Kaylin,
This
and
motherfucker.
nods. Not the jovial look on his face, somewhat serious.
Yeah,
He
apparently
looks
I needed
over
a 16
the
to
scorched
save.
earth
Just
down by
one
where
under.
Kaylin erased the creature that was there, and he kneels down next to the scorched earth and puts his hand upon it, and you see a bit of a glow and a arcane sigil appear where the earth was burned, and you see the creature that was standing there rise back into existence and folding itself into whole. With that, very, almost militaristic, like, I've got a job to do, he starts walking around. He moves past the large creature and moves towards Markinor and puts his hand down on Markinor's chest. And you take 12 points of healing energy surges through you, Markinor.
Yeah, motherfuckers.
He steps around
alive.
you, puts his hand down on Aelion. And you receive 10 points of healing. And very methodically, he goes between not only the players, but also the creatures that you just fought, and heals them all.
Gee. Can we get help from this guy? He's a better healer than ours.
Hey, I'm not a fucking healer, alright? You want a healer, go healer.
Uh-huh.
Shit.
You want a healer, you should fucking roll a healer. I'm not a healer. I'm here to keep y'all alive.
There's a difference.
There is a very big difference there.
So as this all transpires, Aelion and Markinor, you're able to get back to your feet, clearly seeing this man is the one who's just brought you back from the brink. And he gets done healing everything. The creatures kind of bow off to the sides away from you all. Still in a almost cautious-like state, though, watching you. And he goes and stands next to Vidania.
Oh, now you're inside of each other.
Oh, I moved.
All right,
I'm just
everything
kinda
fixed now.
Wait,
sitting
why is my
close.
sword gone?
You don't
Oh,
need
yeah.
it anymore.
Oh,
Because you
okay.
went
And
unconscious.
and you also almost died.
But it
You went
doesn't
unconscious.
go away. No, it does its own thing, even if I go unconscious.
No, it doesn't.
Mhm.
Yes, it does. But that's fine. I'm okay because I'm alive.
Forget that you had a
Shh.
sword.
Shh, we're not talking
So-
about that now.
As all this is going on, you all group back together. Kind of, I'd imagine you're all kind of awestruck about what's happening at this point. Seeing this mysterious man whose name y'all didn't even inquire about come back and begin healing everyone in the party. Cool. Get my flight book for GC. Sorry. You all group back together, seeing all the animals back in healthy fighting shape, whereas you're not too much into it, but they all look very healthy. And with that, the man kind of sighs a little bit, wringing out his hands. See a little beads of sweat beginning to perspire on his skin. Says, haven't had to do that much healing in quite a while.
Yes. Very uncharacteristic of us to have fallen in combat. But we thank you for stepping in and helping us.
With that, he nods to you and turns to Vidania and says, well, do you think we're satisfied now? And you see Vidania, kind of relax. It's like her shoulders slump a little bit, and she sits down at the edge of the pool here, visibly, with a weight off of her shoulders. And she says, yes, I believe he'll be pleased now. And as she says that, you all hear a voice kind of resonating all around you. Very good. I'm glad to see you all pass the test. Oh shit, I don't have his token. Oops.
This guy.
Is this voice the same voice that we've heard before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's
fucking
Bane.
awful.
This motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
It's Bane, guys.
This
Guy killed
guy.
Bane.
I told you, Havoc, you need to take a tin can and hold it up as you talk. Because that way it sounds more like Bane.
So as you all hear this voice resonating all around you, you see a small portal open up in front of Vidania and this other man. And the man you know as Malpheus steps out of it and turns towards you all as the portal closes behind him. He says, you did well. Took the long road and the hard one, if you ask me, but you made it through it. And for that, I congratulate you.
You act as if we had another choice. I mean, perhaps we could have ignored all of this, but to ignore the people of Fitchhurst would have been beyond anything we would have done.
And with that, he raises a finger and says, ah, that was the test. You see, this was to test your moral compass, as it were. If you had abandoned the people of Fitchhurst to their fate, to all these ravenous creatures, and you see a smile kind of appear from beneath his the hooded cloak as he motions around to the creatures around him, then you would not be the people we were looking for. But you did not abandon them.
Wait, he's not an asshole?
So
Still
then what is the purpose of all of this?
And with that, you see him kind of shrug, and he reaches up and pulls off the hood of his cloak, and you can finally see this man's face for the first time. All of you recognize this as the same person that you saw sitting at the table on the second mural of the rocks, the one that looked very squeamish and sheepish. You see kind of his eyes are still somewhat frightful as he looks across to you. And as he takes the cloak off, you see a gold medallion hanging across his neck. And with that, he reaches down as you see his face and pulls the medallion off. And as he does so, he drops it to the ground, and his whole body kind of shrinks a little bit, not in size, but just in bearing. And he lets out a very heavy sigh. He says, well, his voice, everything has changed about him at this point. He says, well, the plan was to find somebody that could replace us. that could help us. But we had to test them. We can't just have anybody doing the things that we do. And, well, he turns around and kind of washes his hands nervously. He says, these two, they weren't up to it. They didn't want to do things that needed to be done. So he flicks his fingers down at the pendant down by his foot, or by his feet rather. He says, well, I didn't want to either, but with that weird thing, I was able to take on the persona of someone that you could follow after and seek revenge for and to fight and not like very much. It is very disturbing, all really. I didn't like it, I promise. But you understand, it had to be done. It had to be done.
I mean, have you
I'd
not
like to revert to human form at this point.
have you not seen
Or
who we are?
elf
I mean,
form?
at this point, you should know that we're willing to help the people of the realm as necessary, but does it require such drastic provisions?
With that, he kind of has a little bit of an exasperated look on his face and says, well, anybody can help other people. He's like, a farmer can go help till a field of another farmer that needs help. A
But-
little girl could help with a drawing for another, another child. This isn't what we were looking for. We were looking for someone with the power to stop gods and demons and ends of the world that we know it. You don't find those every day.
Have you not seen us in action? I mean, and then Markinor quickly points to the armored individual and says, this guy's obviously seen what we have done. It's not like we do ordinary deeds for ordinary people. We do things beyond the normal measures of normal people.
With that, he kind of sighs a bit and claps his hand together. He says, son, I've seen many people like you. They've all died. Every single one of them. They may get eaten by a dragon. They may fall into the wrong trap. They all die, though. You all have something else, a spark, a chance of luck, whatever it may be, a divine prophecy revolving around you. Who knows in this world? However, you have whatever it takes to survive.
Paladin
Yes,
only in
almost
class,
die.
buddy.
It's a difference.
He kind of raises his hand up. He's like, well, details. You're all alive now. That's all that matters.
It's a fine line.
Weren't there 4 of you originally?
Daddy kind of rolls his eyes a bit. He says, yes. Lan is off saving the world still, unfortunately. But you'll meet him shortly.
Okay.
With that, he kind of opens his hands up and, feeling like the tense moment, everything is kind of past. He sits down and kind of rests his hands up behind him as he leans back. And he says, well, our cards are on the table. What do you want to know?
So you claim that you did this because there's an entity, a god that needs to be reckoned with. Who is this person?
He kind of shrugs once again. He says, well, there's always a god or a devil or another plane trying to break into this one. There's always something happening.
No. You were searching for somebody specific, for a very specific task. You wouldn't do so for just a generic somebody is trying to take over the world. There's somebody on your radar that you are looking for. Who is it?
With that, he kind of raises an eyebrow and looks a little bit annoyed with you. Says, Markinor, all of those details will come to you in time. However, we don't know what's coming. Not yet. You see, we've grown old. We've gotten tired of always defending this land and saving it. Don't care for recognition or anything like that. We did it because we wanted to. Much as the same that what you do, because you feel that it's right and is what you should do. But, as I said, there's always some kind of threat. We know something's coming. And with that, he reaches into his cloak and he pulls out a very old-looking tome. It's like, I've been reading some of these things that I found in the very lovely shrine that you visited. He kind of waves his hand off to the side. Back when it still existed and was still on this plane. And it tells prophecies of an ending. It doesn't say by what. It doesn't say by who. These are excellent questions. I would love to answer them. I can't. I don't know. But it
Part
says
of me
that
really
the Four
hates
will not
this
be
guy.
enough to stop them.
It really
He
does.
kind of motions to himself and the man and woman behind him and says, well, we're the Four. We know that already. We won't be enough. So we decided the best course of action, find somebody to help us. Find somebody to replace us if we die. Or if we just don't feel like doing this anymore because we're not good at it. So, in here enters you. He kind of spreads his hand and motions to you all in the party. This is why we've sought you out. This is why we've tested you for your prowess in combat and problem solving with the Shrine of Tomoa-chan that I sent you to. For your moral compass and your deeds up to this point, including, but not limited to, of course, saving Fitchhurst from the threat that young Vidania behind me proposed to everyone. All those people were fine, by the way, in case you didn't notice it. We actually don't want to kill anybody, but, you know, sometimes people forget that.
Yeah, people have died.
Oh, not died per se. They were unconscious and made to look dead. But if you go back to the town, you'll clearly see that everybody is fine.
So
Did
With
they
him-
bury some of the people?
with
though?
him saying that, knowing that
Oh.
knowing that Markinor has performed burial rites on these people, now he is questioning everything this guy is saying. Like, none of this makes sense. None
You
of it.
did burial rites, but they were in the back of wagons still.
They were in the back of wagons. You're right.
They didn't bury people alive. Just so you clear your consciences real quick.
Okay,
I
because
was
he's
super
like
confused for a
he's
second.
like, wait, no, I was helping.
Yeah, Caleb's just like, whatever.
Of course you are. You just want to kill people. We know.
It's like it was
So-
important that everything seemed real. So we made those people look like they were dead and let everything go through. They just got a really good nap in the back of those wagons. It
And-
might leave a little crick in their neck for a little while, but nothing else untoward has happened to them.
And after all of this, after all of you have done, why should we believe in anything you have to say?
With that, he kind of clucks. He says, well, you don't have to believe me if you don't want to. I'm not here to convince you to do anything. I'm here to let you know things. I'm here to try to convince you that what you're doing is the right thing. And you'll be doing much more in the future. Probably without your consent, much like this test that you were giving. But great situations call upon great people. And you are the ones that are going to be called upon.
I mean, you're also not dead. So.
Do what?
He's also Markinor is also not dead.
They did revive us.
That doesn't mean I have to trust them.
With that, he kind of shrugs. He says, well, I mean, honestly, if we wanted to kill you, we could have done that a long time ago when you ventured into the Citadel. It wouldn't have been that big of a deal to bring the entire canyon down on you. You see what I mean?
Oh, that's a little scary. Think thought.
He kind of looks over at you, Berwyn, as you say that and says, Druid, I took you to another plane of existence. Toppling a mountain is
Yeah.
not that hard in comparison. I mean, really.
I mean, I'm not saying it is.
Why us?
And why have you been watching us so long?
Yes.
He shrugs. He says, like
Is it
I
because
said.
of this guy right here pointing at Aelion?
I said, he shrugs. He says, no, not really. It was pure happenstance that Aelion happened to appear from the Feywild back onto this realm in the time that we've been searching. As I said before, we've seen many people like you, many other parties. All of them have died. Either literally they've died while adventuring, or they decided to stop. we've had a few promising ones, but just nothing's worked out. We were observing you because you called to, you responded to calls for aid. Already righteous there, fitting the first ticket already. So we followed you and watched over you as you went through the Citadel. We followed you afterwards as your fame began to spread. We watched you go to the Forge and somewhat handle the Duragar and the dragon there. Good job with that, by the way. We've kept tabs on you because we think you're going to make it. You haven't died yet. Yet being the operative word here, you may still die, and that will be unfortunate. But we can always find
die eventually, though.
Daddy nods. He says, "Of course. Why do you think we don't want to do this forever? We're eventually going to die."
At least we die of noble deeds.
As you say that, you hear the man behind him kind of speak up and says, "Well, anybody in our line of duty would prefer to die in battle versus in a bed. Isn't that right?"
It's true. So where do we go moving forward? It seems there's a bit of a disconnect between us and what is going on right now.
And with that, Malpheus kind of shrugs and rocks back up to sit up towards you. He says, "Well, last I heard you had a job to go to White Plume Mountain. Was that correct?"
Yes, that was our original objective, though it seems you have kind of taken us away from such.
He kind of raises, twists his hand in such a way, kind of dismissing you. He's like, "I meddled a bit. It wasn't that bad."
Oh no, you interfered entirely.
With that, he kind of raised an eyebrow. He's like, "You only lost 3 days, and that's only because you turned around and went back."
He's got a point.
It's like, "I didn't take away any time at all. I brought you back almost to the precise second as to when you left. And what do? You turn around and waste more time going back to Blosingdale. I couldn't make any sense of it, but, to each their own."
We had no other choice. It's because of your deeds that we had to go back. Had you not sent us in there, we would have been forward and we would have been to White Plume Mountain as we were originally instructed.
That you hear him kind of giggle. He's like, "Yes, you would have went to White Plume Mountain and you would have died. You see, all of this was to help you. I know it may not seem that way. Sending you into a shrine and attempting to poison you with gas and send all the other monsters and atrocities within there. However, you're stronger now, aren't you?"
Maybe?
Yeah, you're all stronger. That's the question y'all should know the answer to.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
He's like, "If you had went there and seen the things that you will see in there, no spoilers though, because that's no fun, you would have died, most certainly. And we like you. We followed you for a while, and frankly, we're tired of finding other people. So we're going to need you to live and get stronger even more."
Okay.
Just shattering that real quick. So he says, what I would
What is
say,
Alien looking at?
Just looking. Where did this camera come from? With that, Malpheus leans forward again and addresses you. He says, "My advice, and you can take it or not. I mean, I'm just a very powerful wizard, nothing else. I would suggest you follow through with your job. You're expected to go to White Plume Mountain, and, ultimately it's probably going to be for your best benefit to do so. I know that it's dangerous, and there's always that little thing called death you have to worry about, but nothing you haven't dealt with already, right?"
And you believe us to be ready to face such dangers?
He kind of turns his head and he says, "In the mountain? As ready as you need to be. Anything else? Probably not."
Oh. Thanks for that wonderful vote of confidence there, buddy.
Then he kind of chuckles, nasally. "Well, I'm what they call a realist. I know you have the potential to get stronger even than us. However, you're not there quite yet. And that's why we are still doing our job. We are still protecting as best we can. That is why he kind of waves his hand in an annoying fashion. That's why Lan is not here right now. However, you will get stronger. Going to White Plume Mountain is the first step in that.
And what say you, Guardian of Varen? Points to the guy in the armor up here.
With that, he kind of steps forward and does a almost noble bow. You kind of get a fixation that he's of noble background based on his bow. He says, Artur Boss, at your service. And he stands back up and straightens, kind of adjusting his armor. He says, well, unfortunately, my friend here, as he motions to Malpheus, is speaking the truth. We didn't, me especially, didn't enjoy this plan, but it was either that or possibly watch you die again. And frankly, I'm tired of watching good people die simply because we couldn't help them, because they need to get stronger on their own, not with our help.
And how would you like to see us proceed?
He shrugs, says, well, those swords aren't going to come back to their owners by themselves. And frankly, I don't have the time to go do it, so I would say you'd probably be the man for the job.
What's going on with Lady Tinueth back here? What's she doing?
She looks very upset. She looks on the edge of tears at this point, and as all this is kind of wrapping up, you see her step forward, and she moves clearly in front of Aelion. And as she does so, she sinks to her knees and does a very low bow to you, Aelion. And as she raises her head up to you, she says, I am so sorry. There was nothing more that I wanted to do than to greet you when I saw you had come to this plane. I've been here so long, hundreds of years. And I thought you had died, along with the rest of our family. And I'm sorry for this facade, for this act that I had to put on. But ultimately, as I said before, it was to protect you.
And Leon's also, like, just, especially with, like, this, he's also, like, really close to tears. So he just kind of, he's still sitting down. He just kind of looks up to her and says, it's just been so long. I almost became feral looking for you. This has been almost too much, but the group that I've found has helped me through this, and if nothing else, you helped us become closer and stronger, so thank you.
That she bows again, tears visibly, going down her face. She tells you briefly that, referring back to when your family was killed, that she was almost done the same, that the creatures attacking them had almost killed her, but she had just happened, much like you did, upon a portal to the material plane and was transported at that point. And even though it was done briefly in the time of between, you being transported back and her being transported back, obviously wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff happened, and she was sent back hundreds of years before you arrived. So she has been here for quite a while, comparatively.
Well, at least we're here together, and we can progress, maybe.
At that, she nods. She says, I will always just be a call away, and I'll be here for you as much as I can. But much as Malpheus has said as she stands up and goes back to rejoin their side, we still have a job to do. We are still protectors of this land as much as we can be. and we will hold that mantle until you are all ready to take it over for us.
Of course. And so we will prepare.
And as that exchange kind of ends, Malpheus, addresses you all and says, "Well, anything else you would like to know? As I said before, all our cards are on the table. However, we do have business elsewhere, and you have some business as well to take care of, I think."
While this is happening, I've walked up next to this. I forgot the name. And just been looking at it.
As you do so, it lowers its head, its mane now not cut up or bloody or anything like that, and kind of shining, and it puts its muzzle and such right into your face, its blue eyes just kind of staring at you.
I reach up to pet its face.
And it kind of nuzzles into your touch, and lets you pet it.
I look at Malpheus and say, so what shall we expect going forward? I mean, certainly you don't go, looking for warriors or adventurers to aid you if you have no idea what they're going to expect going forward.
With that, he kind of shrugs. He says, "Oh, danger, certainty of death, very low rewards, unless you get lucky. Really bad benefits when it comes to life insurance, things of that nature. The normal."
Yes. Seems
about
pretty
right.
common. Do you have any advice?
You forgot friendship as a bonus.
With that, he smiles. He says, yes. Friendship is something we all can rely on." And he walks forward to you, Mark, and holds out his hand for a shake. He says, "If nothing else, from this entire exchange, and it may not seem worth it in your eyes, but I'd like to say in the most humble of ways, you've gained yourself some powerful allies, if nothing else."
And Markinor reaches his hand out and says, "Yes, if nothing else, allies is good." And shakes his hand. And then afterwards, kind of looks to the left and the right, and kind of over his shoulder to Kaylin and says, "So, how shall we proceed?"
Can anybody help me with this cursed axe? I love this thing. I want to keep it, but I'm going to kill somebody.
But as you say that, Artur kind of lets out a bark of a laugh. He's like, "I was wondering if you would say anything about that." He walks forward to you and he says, "You realize if I do this, you won't be able to use that axe anymore unless you attune to it again, and that would just make all my work for naught, so I'd prefer if you didn't do that."
Then I'll just keep it.
And
Really?
Markinor kind of turns back and says, "Kaylin, are you sure that's the right choice?"
No.
I don't think she quite understands the difference between right and wrong.
Then perhaps
It's more muddy.
do you treasure your life more than you treasure that axe?
That's not a good question.
Oh, that is a very fair question.
That's all right.
No, as a guardian of Tyr, I don't make threats. I just ask simple questions. Cast judgment upon those who make the wrong choices in life.
Okay, let me phrase it this way. You may not consider it a threat, but pretty sure everybody else does.
So I'll look again.
Well, I just literally don't think that she cares. She wants the axe.
She just wants it anyway. It doesn't matter.
That's the curse.
Threat or not, it doesn't matter. I want this fucking axe, and nobody's gonna take it from me.
As this is all kind of going on, almost without even any ceremony or anything, Archer steps forward and places his hand on the side of Kalen's wrist. And ever so quickly, he breaks the attunement to the axe from you, Kalen. And as
then
he does so, he kind of shrugs and says, well, y'all are all just talking so much, I got bored. So it's broken from you. The curse is removed. However, the
You
item
take
is
the
still...
axe from her.
as soon
Please?
as he does so, Markinor takes his warhammer and bats it away and tries to knock it out of her hand.
You really don't want to do that.
Oh, I do, because you're not attuned to it right now, so it wouldn't affect you.
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh shit.
She's still cursed.
The
Actually
curse
cursed.
the curse lifts whenever the
Well,
attunement
of
is
course,
broken.
but you're still attacking me.
No,
She's still psycho.
I hit the weapon to knock it out of her hand.
I get that, but she doesn't. She just sees you attack.
No, I'm good with this choice. I'll stick with it.
This is all on you. Alter kind of steps back as he, casts Remove Curse on you, essentially. Breaks your attunement. You don't feel the need to have this item by your side or anything anymore. From the curse, at least. Personal desires aside. And with that, he kind of shrugs and takes a step back away from you two.
Cursed items will not aid us as we move forward, Caitlin. You know this.
Yeah. No, I wasn't going to reattune to it, but I understand. But I do slap you across the face for trying to hit.
Make it an unarmed strike. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, if I had spell slots, it wouldn't be.
Oh, if I had spell slots, motherfucker, you'd be dead. I would make you dead.
Just raise an eyebrow, be like, did you see what I did with fire earlier? Like, did you forget about that?
Oh no, I didn't forget. We didn't forget.
Yeah, no. I would like to put the axe in my pack. And now I have no weapons, which is awesome.
Are you sure that's not going to draw your gaze once again as
No.
we move forward?
No, I'm good.
Uh-huh.
Just gonna sell it later to somebody else. Might be able to change it up.
Not even gonna tell him what it is.
Hey, it's a really fancy axe. You'll love it.
He kills the people. But that's
Buy
beside
it
the
before
point.
you change your mind. I swear, it's fine.
No, I will keep it because I want to see if I can find some, maybe lift the curse from the axe.
Yeah,
at
that's a
later
good idea.
date. But I'm not going to use it. There's too much power for that axe to just be out in the world.
So kind of watching closely, and Markinor's still not quite trusting everything going on around him. He's keeping a close eye on Kaylin and especially this axe because he knows there's something afoul with it. And then looks back at Malpheus and says, "So is there anything else you have for us?"
Sorry, 1 second. And kind of looks at you as you say that and walks over and kind of reaches out hesitantly and slaps you on the back. Says, "Good luck. I give you strong encouragement. That's about all I can give you. I will give you more information when the time comes. However, I don't have the information.
Yeah, we will
Hopefully I will
finish
soon.
as soon as
If I
we
don't,
finish
you
the
won't hear from me.
session.
When I do,
think
you will hear from me."
that's generally
It's quite
how it
simple.
works. Once we get to the end of our session, or once we get to a long rest,
Awesome.
that's when we get our XP
Also,
and sort of
this
everything
guy
out.
is really soft and nice.
As you say, so it kind of lets out a low growl that almost sounds like a purr.
I think I have made a friend.
And, turning his attention back to Kaylin, kind of looks at her with a bit of concern and says, are you ready to go?
Yes.
A little
Mm,
uneventful,
satisfied.
yes. Yes, everything's fine. Okay, so with that, I think we are ready to move forward.
All right. So as you all prepare to leave and such, you're able to sit and hear a few tales from the three that are here. Everything from them vanquishing dragons to their first run through of the shrine of Tomoe-chan years and years ago, before you went through it. Talked about many different things that they did differently and almost died from a few things. But yeah, you go through and discuss stuff and get prepared to leave. I'm gonna take a break. We're gonna go ahead and end for the night a little bit early because you are all going to hit level 8
Oh,
and go ahead and get
Oh.
leveled up for the night. That way you don't have to do it next session.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
That range
Well,
of level.
we'll end for the night. I will take care of the end of stream, and then I'll be right back.
I get another language. I just
All right. So, kind of saw where that was. Thank you guys again for being here. As always, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you across all 3 streams, from Twitch and Mixer and YouTube. I appreciate all of you. We will be back again next week, 7:30 Eastern on Sunday for this game. Be sure to tune in on Monday, 7:30, as always, for our Tyranny of Dragons game. Continuation of all of that has been going on. It's been pretty chaotic and a lot of things going on there as well. I think that pretty much covers everything. We don't have a lot going on. If you haven't done so, make sure you click the follow button up above. Give us a follow. Always appreciate that stuff. If you're on Mixer or YouTube, subscribe or follow, whatever you can do there. I very much appreciate that as well. I think that's about it. Thank you for being here. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 7:30. And then we will be back on Saturday for Civil War Alliance. And then it's going to be an all weekend thing. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Then back on Wednesday for Empire of that week. So look forward to seeing you guys there. Again, thank you. I appreciate all of you being here. And I hope to see you all again very, very soon.